Inside the Classroom takes an in-depth look at one of Team Hardin County Schools' best teachers in action, featuring comments, class instruction, and insight inside the classroom.
I think it was my calling. When I was a child, they always said you're going to be a teacher. So I went to college and rebelled and majored in something completely different. And, you know, through a series of events, I became a teacher anyway. So I think it was my calling. 1. An object accelerates at 8.2 meters per second when a force of 20.1 newtons is applied. What is the mass? And so your hint over here, there's our solving triangle. Mass equals force divided by acceleration. Mass equals 20.1 newtons divided by 8.2 meters per second. Yes, I just want to know that you can do, so yes, you can use a calculator this time. Then I guess you're going to be working it out. I was lucky enough to be a military child, so I lived a lot of places, but my dad's home base was Fort Knox. And so moving away and moving back, I attended probably every level of school at Fort Knox and had all great teachers all the way through that. But I had some amazing teachers at Fort Knox High School who I'm still in contact with today that inspired me, that I think of when I teach. I want to be that type of teacher. Second. So what did you get for the first one? Yeah. Des? 2.2 decimal places. That would be right, though. 2.45. Yeah, 2.45 kilograms. Okay, your second one. An object with a mass of 6.3 kilograms has a force of 7.1 newtons. What is the acceleration? So what's the formula for acceleration? Roy?
Newtons divided by kilograms.
Well,
Or meters per second.
what's the formula? Acceleration equals?
Acceleration equals force divided by mass.
Mass, yeah. Everybody, I knew exactly what you were saying, but they might not have known what you were saying. So, yeah, so acceleration equals force divided by mass. So you did what divided by what?
7.1 newtons divided by 6.3 kilograms.
7.1 newtons divided by 6.3 kilograms. As I was walking around, a couple of you popped your numbers in the wrong spot. You got to know which one is force and which one is mass. And what did we get for acceleration? Did you round it to 2 places this time? What do you got?
1.13 meters per second.
1.13 meters per second. And our last one. An object with a mass of 6.5 kilograms accelerates at a rate of 12.3 meters per second when an unknown force is applied. What is the force? So first of all, what is the formula we're going to set up? If you have the answer, you had to set the formula up. What do you got, Jackson?
Force equals mass times acceleration.
Force equals mass times acceleration. So then we multiplied those two numbers, and what did we get? Stephanie? 79.95. Newtons. Very good.
Miss Murray does a lot of experiments, and she goes out of her way to buy materials so that we can get the full hands-on experience and we can learn as much as possible.
Somebody tell me what our objective for today is. Kai, what's our objective for today?
I can identify and explain Newton's 3 laws of motion and the Newton's
Jar
demonstration.
Right, so you can identify and explain the 3 laws. You're going to do that by answering this CER question. when we are finished with the demo. Using written words and illustrations, state, draw, and explain each of Newton's laws as demonstrated in the Newton's jar. Okay?
Miss Murray comes up with sayings that'll help us remember the things that we need to remember. She'll gives us hands-on demonstrations, and then sometimes she'll let us we have to figure stuff out on our own. It's not like she's a bad teacher, like that kind of figure stuff out on our own, but for our own knowledge, so we know how to do it next time.
All right, we're going to look at the rubric real quick, and then I'll put it back up at the end when you're ready to write, okay? In order to get a distinguished on that question, all laws are clearly stated and correctly aligned with the demo. The law is addressed every time it appears in the demo. Illustrations are included. Answers clearly show understanding of the concept. I don't need to read the other ones, right? Because y'all are all going to get distinguished. Okay. Just in case, I'm going to tell you what they say. But proficient. Laws are stated and aligned at least once when they appear in the demo and include illustrations. Writing expresses understanding. Apprentice. Laws are referred to but not clearly stated. Somewhat aligned to the demo, and some illustrations are included. Writing shows some understanding of the concept. I don't expect to see this one, but novice is. Not enough information is given. Information is not clear enough to demonstrate understanding of the concept.
I will remember Miss Murray because she helped me science a lot, and I think she's a great teacher. I never had it before.
Today's lesson is the Newton's 3 laws, and so the kids have been reviewing Newton's 3 laws of motion. And so today I'm going to do a demo, which is called Newton's jar. It's a jar full of beads, and when the beads start falling, the students have to pick out where they see each of Newton's laws in the demonstration. It looks like magic, but it's really science. They'll ooh and ah, and I'll have them do it on slow-mo so they can go back and look at it, but it's usually a lesson that really helps them see the laws and not just memorize them. What's Newton's first law? Everybody. Let's try that again. What's Newton's first law? Everybody. An object in motion stays in motion, and an object at rest stays at rest unless acted upon by an outside force. You can say unbalanced, that's fine. All right.
Miss Murray makes learning fun by giving life examples. She does a lot of hands-on activities and shows examples in front of the class.
Second law. Okay. This is don't let that scare you. This is normally a participating class. They normally answer. Let's try that again.
I just have jitters.
Okay. Second law is? And third law is? For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Right.
I enjoy doing Brain Pop because it introduces a lot of our lessons and it gets kind of the general idea. And I really do like experiments because I'm more of a hands-on learner.
What law can you see right now in the jar? First, what part of the first do you see? Aiden? So what part is that? State that part of the law for me. The object is? The object's at rest, right? So when you're answering your question, when the beads were sitting in the jar, they were at rest.
She makes learning fun, so I enjoy to learn because she's always on the move and giving us new things to put inside of our brains.
What do you think is the outside force that is going to make motion happen? Miss Murray. Miss Murray's hand. Okay. Now, remember that your objective is to state and explain each and every law every time you see it in the demonstration. Okay? Are you ready? It's going to go really, really fast. Okay. You ready? Okay, y'all ready? Y'all can write it down, right?
Yeah, got it.
You got it again.
Okay.
Replay and
Okay. Write down, just real quick. I will do it again. Real quick, write down anything that you think you saw. I know that went really fast, but write down anything you think you saw. Just take some notes. It doesn't, not writing your CER answer, but just some notes that you can refer back to.
Miss Murray always make jokes, and she always made learning fun.
Now, when an object is rest, what kind of energy does it have? Potential energy. And we learned earlier that we can have more potential energy if what?
more math.
No, well, but what else?
Well,
What's this? Lower?
higher.
Higher. So position, right? And what do we call the potential energy that is the potential energy of position? Who remembers? If it's higher up, it's being pulled down. What's that called? So what is this called? Who remembers? What the type of potential energy? Gravitate. Thank you. Gravitational potential energy. Yes. One of the things I try to do is reach them at all levels and go where they are, bring them to me. So sometimes I have to pull them out individually and do individual work. I stay after school to help students. I do things like I'm doing today. So once they've learned a concept, now we see the concept, and then they write about the concept to reinforce the concept, and just like all of those things together. And the kids say, like, I try to come up with funny sayings and things like that to help them remember our emotions. And sometimes I can see them when, like, even they're doing their K-prep, that they'll be doing their hands. And I'll say, oh, they remember what I said. Let's see if I can give it some more potential energy. And just to help you out, I'll give you a longer set of beads. Okay, y'all better be ready this time. Y'all weren't really ready last time, right? Okay, well, it's going to go fast again. Are you ready? Everybody ready?
No.
What are you looking for?
Potential energy. Gravitational. 3 laws.
Well, I'm giving it gravitational potential energy. What are you looking for? The 3 laws of motion. Are you ready? You got it, right? You got it? You ready? That did it for you, right? Yeah, but that was not at all. That was a little better, though.
In Miss Murray's classroom, I enjoy the brain pop quizzes we do to introduce new content, and I enjoy the creative hands-on activities we do.
Tell me some things you saw. Stand on a bigger chair. Okay, I'll do that. What? But tell me some things you saw there. You got. If you want me to stand on a bigger chair, you got to tell me some things you saw already. Okay, Damani. So it was going up. So what law do you think that was? All 3. It was. They were all there, but how? Do you know?
Miss Murray always encourages me to do my best, and if I ever need extra help, she will always be there to help me, and she always gives me extra time if I need it, which really makes me happy and really makes me want to push harder.
Let's go back to our first one. Where did you say we were starting? At rest. So we start at rest. Do we end at rest?
Yes.
When is it at rest? Well, pretty much when we run out of beads. That's right. So it's on the ground, right? It's at rest. We ran out of beads. Okay. When is it in motion? Okay, so I started, and once the motion stopped, I didn't have to keep pulling, right? It did it on its own.
Yeah.
So the motion started, it stayed until it hit the ground and we ran out of beads.
Oh.
Force, mass, acceleration. Where'd you see that?
When it was going down.
Okay, hold on. Say that again.
When the beads were falling to the ground.
Okay, so tell me where force, mass, and acceleration was on that.
Force was when you pulled it to make sure it was down. The mass.
Okay. We know law of conservation of mass is that mass is not created nor destroyed. But did mass change in any way as they were falling down? Where is my mass right now? In the cup. The mass didn't change as it was. We transfer. Remember, we can transfer and transform it, right? We transferred the mass to where? Well, first though, outside the cup. So each bead added mass to what was outside the cup. Did that change force and acceleration? Yes? Did you see that? Oh, what about action and reaction?
The action was the bees went out of the cup, and the reaction, I don't know that one.
Somebody said it. As the beads pulled down, what happened? Somebody said they saw it happen.
The bees started going like up farther and farther above the cup.
So as the beads pulled down on the outside, they pulled up on the inside, right? We also have action, reaction on the floor. Talked about that, normal force versus gravity, right? All right.
Miss Murray encourages us by she lets us know that she's somebody that we can always go to. She won't judge us. She won't make us feel bad if we've done something. And she's like always there for somebody if we ever need to talk about anything. She's just an open person.
Jackson says, I need a taller chair. Well, I don't have a taller chair. But I have this counter right here. And I have this giant container of beads. So, hold on, I'm going to show you. Again, it goes really fast. So I'm going to help you out this time. And I can stand on it and still not hit this one. I'm going to help you out this time. If you have a phone that records in slow motion, you can record it, but I'm just saying if you have one that records in slow motion, record it in slow motion and then you can slow it down for yourself when you're looking back at it to find all of those things. Are you ready? Okay, I'm going to hold the beat. I'm going to tell. Okay, so this is my beginning. Are you ready? No. You want to do lights, camera, action? All right, lights, camera. Ready? Action. What? Crazy, right?
I'm joined to a small group and a small group permit, for example, with energy permit.
Did you see it that time now? If you did it in slow-mo, look back at it. All right. When you see that student achieve, there's a great joy of having those students that always do what they're supposed to do. But probably, the best joy is that student that is struggling but really wants to do well. And when they finally get it and you see that light bulb go off, that is one of the greatest joys I have. And when they tell you that they appreciate you, because that's probably the biggest payment. We say we don't get great big paychecks as teachers, but we get paid in lots of other ways. And when those kids appreciate you, tell you they appreciate you, come back to visit me once they're high schoolers or even gone on into life, those are great joys. I'm going to give you some writing time. You can watch your piece as you're doing it. And I'm going to reload the jar so you can see it one more time, okay?
Miss Murray encourages me to try my hardest by telling me that she knows I can do the work, and she explains things to me to help encourage me to do my best.
Okay.
Why can't we do that?
Yeah. They're the entire backbone of our society. Every career starts in the classroom, in a teacher's classroom somewhere, and sometimes what happens in that classroom really makes the difference in the success of those students. So we are definitely the backbone of every other career out there. So let's review some things that we already talked about. Where did we see Law 1? At the beginning when it's at rest, and when is it at rest again?
When there's no more beats.
When there's no more beads and they're all on the floor.
Or table.
Okay. Forces. Tell me some forces you saw. I don't think we... My hand was a force. What else? Gravity was a force. Gravity was pulling down. Is there an opposite force? Normal force is doing what? Pushing up. Right. It couldn't keep going. It didn't go through the floor. So the floor is pushing up. What other forces? Normal force. Remember that from the... Net is the two together, like when they... Yeah. So net force is 0, it's sitting still, remember? Yeah. All right.
Wait, is the chain a force? Because like, when the chain that was falling down, was that making the part at the cup go up? Like it was pulling down?
So what did we say? As the mass outside the jar increased, what did we see happen? It increased the force, because force equals mass times acceleration, right? So ask yourself how mass and force and acceleration all related in that. It's what Justin's telling you without telling you. So.
Miss Murray will be someone I remember when I get older because she challenges me to do my best, and she does things in creative ways.
Action, reaction. So there was a couple places where there was action, reaction, right?
When it was going down, the beads in the cup were going up.
Okay, so the beads pulling down made the beads in the cup pull up. Action is down, up is reaction. Make sense? What about floor? Floor pushed up, and so that did what? No, when it hit the floor. They did bounce at first, right? And then they stopped, right? So we did have a little bit of, when we started we had friction because the beads were like going over the edge, right?
Well, Miss Murray is somebody that I will remember when I get older because she encourages me in more than just science. I'm a volleyball player, and she goes out of her way to come to our games, and she makes sure that the teams are doing good, which means a lot to me and the other people that are on the volleyball team and also have her for science class.
Wait, Miss Murray, isn't it that the bigger the beads are, wouldn't it make the beads stop more during
Do you mean bigger or do you mean more mass?
bigger?
Like if I had bigger beads?
Yeah, because it would be able to catch more easily. So wouldn't that more slow it down?
But if you got enough mass outside to do the same thing, it would. We can try it. We can get bigger beads. See how it works. That's the best. You know you have a good investigation if the investigation leads you to new investigations. That's how you know you have a good investigation. So now you say, what if we had bigger beads? What if Miss Murray got on the roof? What if, right?
Miss Murray, she taught me that even when things get hard, you can't just give up and shut down. Because at the beginning of the year, that's the way that I was. She taught me that you had to be strong and keep moving forward. And she gave us like stories about how she wanted to give up, but she never did. And she like pointed to where she is today. And she said that she loves her job. And I hope that I can love my job when I get older, like her.
What if we did it off the top of the stairs? We could try that one. What if we use something besides beads?
Yeah, we should do that right now.
Miss Murray always praised me and used nice words. And she helped me and I don't understand the words that I never heard before.
Distinguished. All laws are clearly stated and correctly aligned with the demo. The law is addressed every time it appears in the demo. Illustrations are included. Illustrations are included. And the answer clearly shows understanding of the concept. Proficient. Laws are stated and aligned at least once when they appear in the demo and includes illustrations. Writing expresses understanding of the concept. I don't need to read the other ones, right? Because you guys already told me you're going to do proficient or distinguished.
Yep.
Right?
Yes, sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you finish writing your CER before class is up, then trade it with someone who's also finished and see if you can help each other out on where they need to fill in more information. Well, I mean, I appreciate being the Excel nominee. I just think I come in and teach every day. I don't teach for awards, but it's nice to be appreciated and have people see, you know, that you're worthy of that. And JTA is a great school. I have there's great staff and colleagues here, and so I think we all make each other better teachers. Using written word and illustration, state, draw, and explain each of the Newton's laws as demonstrated in Newton's chart. Okay. So your claim is you saw them all. Your evidence is the laws themselves. Your R is where you saw them. What happened? How does that show that law?